Diane Keaton, the eccentric Oscar-winning legend who redefined what it meant to be a modern, complex woman on screen. Throughout her career, she was linked to some of Hollywood's most powerful and magnetic men: Woody Allen, Warren Beatty, Al Pacino. Yet, despite those high-profile romances, she never walked down the aisle. But the greatest fight of her life had nothing to do with love or fame. Behind her charming smile and effortless wit was a silent, consuming war. One fought not against the world, but within herself. The truth was far more haunting than anyone ever knew, shaped by a secret illness that nearly destroyed her. Born Diane Hall in 1946 in Los Angeles, she was raised under the bright shadow of her mother, a one-time beauty queen whose grace fascinated her young daughter. Diane admired her deeply, but grew up battling insecurity and self-doubt, even as she felt drawn to performing. In 1968, she landed an audition for the Broadway play Play It Again, Sam, and that moment changed everything. It was there she met Woody Allen. Their connection was instant, creative, romantic, and deeply entwined. But that closeness, combined with her already anxious temperament, would plant the seeds for the obsessive patterns that would later take over her life. The 1970s catapulted her into superstardom. Her collaborations with Allen, especially Annie Hall in 1977 and Manhattan, made her not just a movie star but a cultural touchstone, the very image of the independent yet vulnerable woman. After Allen came long, passionate relationships with Al Pacino and Warren Beatty. Professionally, she was unstoppable. Privately, her world was quietly unraveling. Beneath the acclaim, she was battling a devastating eating disorder, bulimia, driven by fame's pressures and her relentless need to appear perfect. She craved control in a world that constantly judged her, and food became her battleground. While the public saw confidence and poise behind closed doors, she was fighting a brutal cycle of binging and purging that lasted for years. In her memoir, Then Again, she would later confess the truth, that for 5 long years, she was consumed by this behavior, hiding it even from those closest to her. The world saw success, but inside, she was trapped in a private torment that left her physically and emotionally drained. How long could she keep up the illusion before it broke her completely? Eventually, the facade cracked. A moment of deep disgust and clarity hit her, the realization that what she thought was control had become a slow form of self-destruction. She wasn't dieting anymore. She was disappearing. Confronting that truth was terrifying, but it was also the turning point. At the height of her career, while the world celebrated her quirks and charm, Diane was forced to face her darkest reality, that her cheerful persona had been a mask for her need to be flawless. Stripping that away meant confronting who she really was, without the safety of her characters or her fame. The road back was long and painful. Therapy, time, and self-acceptance became her tools for recovery. Out of that darkness, she discovered something deeper than romantic love, a new purpose in motherhood. She chose to adopt 2 children, Dexter and Duke, finding fulfillment not in the validation of a partner, but in building her own family. Through honesty and vulnerability, she turned her private pain into something powerful, writing openly about her journey and inspiring others with her truth. Diane Keaton's legacy isn't just her iconic roles or timeless style, it's her resilience. Her story reminds us that true strength often lies beneath the surface, in the quiet moments when we choose to face ourselves without the masks. And for Diane, that choice turned her greatest struggle into her most defining triumph.